Hey everyone, this is Armored, and this is going to be a long ass video where I am going to cover the fight that took place between DHX and a couple of other alliances in Island Raid G2. A lot of people tell me that not a lot of people, but a very few minority tell me that I make biased videos. So here is another biased video that is up against DHX where I am going to be appreciating them and of course some of the people who actually do not watch the complete videos. They are going to comment that it is one of uh, like Armored's another video against DHX, but personally I do not have anything against any of the alliances. Like, I respect all of the alliances. In particular, the only alliance I hate, I have mentioned it a couple of times and people know about that. So let's forget the generic talk and get down to business. Right now you can see DHX up against IC8, and on the top half you saw MKRC. So one of the rallies of Gomo is ongoing where he is using Stella and Bodala against Raigoro and Riven, and I still believe that Raigoro and Riven is the strongest infantry garrison that is currently in this game. And the second rally here, you can see Mr. Save Me has launched this rally, and you can see UOD Venom. All his squads are parked nearby. And the third rally currently that is ongoing is on by Miss Cassandra using Chasey and Felix against Ethan and the skin upgraded Lewis. So yeah, one thing is that DHX are lacking in numbers due to a lot of pressure being put onto this team on a very different fronts, right? So 3 different rallies, and IC8 seem to have answer for all these rallies. So Mr. Save Me's rally was instantly swarmed down by Venom, despite the fact that he used his squads to cover it up. But unfortunately, a lot of people got down to swarming Mr. Save Me and his squads and sent him back to the rafters, back to the puncture shop to repair his punctured tires. So he was at 1.1 billion plus might at the start of Island Raid, and he was down to 925 million at one point. And it must have fallen below that. I do not have the coverage of that. But believe me, this fight is something that deserves to be seen, because this was a very great effort, combined effort by DHX as a whole. And MKRC was another alliance that had pushed on the top half of DHX. And despite DHX being able to burn some of their towers, they kept making tower a little bit back, so it did not connect DHX tower. So obviously creating a trouble on some part of the map for DHX to respond to, constantly being a nuisance for them, problem for them to deal with. And I think a lot of effort was put in by DHX last night when they pushed on to the level 6 village of UOD, and UOD was able to take it back in the morning. So UOD is primarily an Asian based alliance. So here you can see they are pushing on to village 7, and later on if you will watch the fights you will see what was the purpose of this pushing towards the village of DHX. So ultimately DHX had to fight on multiple fronts, and IC8 was securing a lot of map, right? They were at about 25, maybe 26 billion for this island raid, and DHX was at 30 billion, and I think that UOD was around 18 billion. And on the top half again you can see that Too Hot have pushed on to the village of DHX. So you can see this is the 4th alliance that is pushing towards the villages of DHX. So here's Mr. Sinful Saint. He's a good friend, yeah. And we played together for a long while. Like, we played together for almost 1.5 years on this game. He loves to play Rider Heroes. All his 5 squads are Rider based. And all of them are pretty decent, 4 million to 6 million might. His idea of his squads is that he wants his squads to move fast in the battlefield, fight, refresh, heal, whatever, and then go back to fighting again. Quick fight, fast fight. That is his idea of this game. And DHX tried to actually push on to this tower, and a lot of resistance was put up by Too Hot, but that resistance did not last long, as you will see once you will watch the complete video. So pretty decent, yeah. So this is one of the many fights that actually took place in this server, and DHX were having a hard time dealing on multiple fronts, but despite that, they did actually put up a show, and we all must respect that. A lot of people might not like DHX, but you have to admit the fact that these guys were there to fight, and boy did they fight. So this is not glazing, this is something that must be appreciated. Like if one point in time, but I need to know which alliance they were merging up with, right? Some of the members I remember, but I'm not sure which alliance was that. So this was the tower. This was one of the biggest, longest fights that actually took place, where UOD were unable to take down the tower of DHX. So here Mr. Gumo, who moved into DHX recently from ROK, he himself is a beast. So having him on the team is a big boost for them, right? And Gumo was holding on to the tower with the Chasey and Felix, and then you can see a number of whales nearby who are reinforcing the tower. And we also can see a lot of pressure being put up by UOD, as one of their rallies is ongoing from Mr. New B using the Chasey Felix, and a lot of squads are actually swarming the tower. So they swarm the tower, go back, swarm the tower, and then go back. Not many people on the field for DHX, so this is a big problem for them. The only thing they are doing right now nearby the tower is just they are reinforcing. So one thing I need to explain to you all right now is that Chasey, you can see her health bar has gone down drastically, like it is at red, right? So what you actually need to know is that this red health bar is of the leading squad. So for example, if Mr. Gomji is leading and his squad is maxed out, let's say at 300k troops, then it will be completely maxed out in white, right? So when it falls to around 150k, then it will be gone to yellow. And obviously when it falls below 25%, then it will be in red. So that is one thing. The next thing you need to know is that the tower will never fall till the time like you have troops inside it. So when the health bar is at red, and you might have like the tower is filled at like 1.5 million complete, as long as you keep reinforcing the tower, I do not think the tower will ever fall. So you need to just make sure that the troops inside the tower are completely gone, right? So this is one of the reasons that the teams actually align themselves around the tower, as you can see here. So they leave some of the battlefield in front of the tower free, and mostly the tower or the areas around the towers are occupied by the stronger teams, the whales, or whichever teams you want to call them. So this is one of the most common thing that you must know, and the same thing must be known for the squad that is rallying. So Mr. Newbie, although his rally is at red, we can see, but as long as the reinforcements keep coming in, the rally will keep on going. It will not stop. The same goes for Mr. Gumo's tower. So you can see his squad, his own squad is at red health, but obviously those guys who are surrounding the tower, they are constantly reinforcing this tower to ensure that the tower stays in place and the tower does not die down or get burned or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, one thing is for sure, that your hospital will keep filling in. The losses will be there, the deaths will be there, the heavily injured troops, they will be there. So yeah, this is something that you need to understand. And as long as you keep reinforcing the tower, you will keep using the stats of the garrison leader. In this case, Mr. Gumo is the garrison leader. And whichever T6, whichever troops reinforce this tower, the stats of Mr. Gumo will be utilized. So this is the basic thing that everybody must know. So if your squad, or let's say tower, has fallen to red health, do not stop reinforcing it. Make sure that you keep reinforcing it. As long as you are going to reinforce it, the tower will keep standing, and it will not fall. So this is my understanding of this complete thing. And sorry for going on in detail to explain this thing to you guys. The same thing goes for the rallies, the same thing goes for the siege, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, this was a long ass fight, right? Just over one tower. Not sure why they kept pushing into it. Maybe they feel threatened by this tower, that probably they can build one more tower later on to connect to the village 6 of UOD. So yeah, you can see that the DHX are constantly only reinforcing this tower, and they are not going for the field battles. I believe the field battle of UOD, their presence is much strong for them to deal with, and at the same time they are fighting IC8. At the same time they are also fighting Too Hot. So this is difficult situation that DHX find themselves in. So yeah, back to this place where MKRC are holding the tower, and obviously IC8 have come up to help out MKRC to hold on to their tower. The rally is by Mr. Neo from DHX, and it has been spanked back to its base, and they hold on to their tower, which was burned earlier, and they have started repairing it. So IC8 was able to help out their allies, I believe, MKRC, for this particular AR. So this is Mr. Neo. He's in the matrix. He may need to take the red pill to stay inside Doomsday Last Survivors. And here is Mr. Gumo. So a lot of squads of IC8 are occupying the villages. Not only the villages, but sorry, to correct myself, the towers. So we go back to the fights that are taking place at this tower. I do not know why they are so obsessed with this tower. Is it more symbolic in nature, or they do actually feel threatened by it, or they're trying to keep DHX occupied on this side or half of the map? Irrespective of that, UOD are also building towards the village 7. So this does not look good for DHX at all. In the long term, if UOD and IC8 are able to connect to village 7 together, then I believe this island raid is over for DHX. It is already an uphill task, and it is being made even more complicated, where UOD and IC8 have joined up to link up at let's say village 7. So right now it might seem for some of the viewers that the fights are tangibly quite easy, but let me assure you, one of the squads, like 2 or 3 squads of these players, Mr. Lime, Gumo, Save Me, whichever whale is there, Alice, Santa, King Kong, or even Mr. Kong, Venom. So if they touch you, rest assured 80% hospitals are filled for sure. The same goes for the whales on the side of DHX, same goes for the whales that are in ROK, HNB. So these guys are extremely strong. Like even like they're strong to the point, like they were strong before, but now that the beasts are released, so they are at a whole another level. Like beasts are insane. If you saw my stream yesterday, the beasts do unreal damage. Unbelievable. It is not something that can be sustained by normal players. The damage is just too much for normal players to handle. I believe the place for free to play players is no more there in this game. It is the age of beasts, and if you do not have strong beasts, then you will not be anywhere inside this game. And of course, on top of that, you need devices, and on top of that, you need to have good workshop. Lacking in one department will lead you to be lacking in a lot of places in this game. And especially if you get hit by a whale, then say bye bye to your squads or your fighting potential for that particular event. So playing in Apex is not suggested for anyone at the moment unless you spend a godly amount of money in this game. And for that you have to blame the developers, because they are only catering to the needs of the 5% of the players that are playing in the game, and those are the whales, and I am not gonna blame them because these guys are the ones who are driving the revenue for the game. So like if I'm playing in my bracket or any other bracket, like you cannot imagine swarming a tower. Like very few people are able to actually swarm down the tower, and if even if they swarm it down, then their buttocks are gone red and they are rubbing their hands all over it to kill the pain. But brother, pain cannot be killed by rubbing, because the pain is not in your buttocks but it is somewhere else. That is the actual scenario that I am telling you, that what happens to the smaller players if they try to swarm a tower, siege, garrison, whatever. They cannot sustain it. I cannot sustain it. Most of us cannot sustain it. It is practically impossible almost for us. So this is a long ass rally, and it seems like this is coming to an end. Mr. Gumo has held on for a terribly long time. But the numbers on UOD. So this tower eventually falls. And they did actually hold it on for such a long time. This is unimaginable, to be very honest. So the tower that was being built by Too Hot and connecting to the level 7 of DHX behind their enemy line sort of thing, it has been slapped around and dismantled. Mr. Saint was holding the tower, and that tower is now gone. And back to the front lines. Let's go and check the offensive that is being launched by IC8. Finally, some offensive action from IC8. The tower is being held by Danny Lee, his Stella. And the assistant is... okay, I do not know. Assistant skill didn't pop. Okay, so it is Bodala. And a lot of swarm is being done. The offensive rally against Stella is Stella. So it is Stella Eddie rally against Stella Bodala in the Garrison. And of course you got a lot of people swarming him right now. IC8 himself is like it is Ash, Mr. Ash, very strong. Then you got I believe this is the leader of IC8. Let me see if he is nearby. Okay, I cannot spot him. But whoever it is, like he has to be strong enough to be swarming Danny D, and he is actually strong. So the reinforcements from DHX, they are being pummeled right now. A lot of problems for them on this side. And on the top half, despite them burning their towers of MKRC, they keep being a problem in their ass. Normally it is referred to as pain in the ass. So MKRC are being in pain in the ass of. So if you are Indonesian, they call it pantat berapi, a fiery ass. That account has to be bought. No way that's is that bad. So some action from DHX side as well. Now Gumo has ported forward and he's fighting on the field. And of course all his 5 squads are being swarmed down by IC8 right now. We got Miss Cassandra, but like it, I do not understand. Where is the uniformity? Like once a squad of Cassandra would come out, and then one squad of, let's say, Mr. Gumo would come out, and then you got Mr. TE, one squad of his will come out. Like they will deploy all their 5 squads one by one instead of being unison in the battlefield. So now Mr. Gumo is outside and Mr. KY is also outside from DHX, but they have been sent to the rafters, spanked like a spankaroonie, a pinata, a swing of a baseball bat. But you got to appreciate, like, DHX is fighting 4 alliances right now. This speaks of the strength of this team. Like on the top, northwest, you got the MKRC. On the south, they got IC8 constantly being a thorn in their side, pushing onto their towers. Then you got Mr. Kumo trying to clean up the battlefield. Now FHLNZ has joined him. Look at him, 300 million might and 1 billion kill points. And you got to appreciate IC8 as well, putting on a show, not giving an inch of land of theirs to DHX, not backing down against the mighty DHX. Right now, DHX is at 30 billion might. See, 30 billion might. This is insane. So Gumo is able to create a lot of space in the battlefield. He's constantly healing and coming in. But then again, Ash and a couple of others from IC8, that big bad wolf is also fighting inside. So now look at this. When Gumo and FHLNZ, they are fighting together, the difference is quite stark, right? So they are able to fight them toe to toe. But the moment they deploy their 5 squads and fight alone, like not together, then we can see that there are some problems. So this is the big bad wolf that I was talking about, the president of IC8. Then you got Mr. Walking. A lot of strong players here from Hell 489 Alliance as well to Allied, Mira. Then a couple of others from Hell are here. A pretty decent alliance now has been established in region 489. A lot of people might not know about it, but it is a significantly strong team. And Danny D is able to hold on to the tower quite effectively, actually. Let's see if any action on any other side. MKRC. So IC8 is having only one rally that is ongoing. Okay, so they are trying to build on the bottom side right now. And in reply to that, DHX have also built one tower against their outpost 7. One extension has been built here. And let's see if anything is being done to the side of Too Hot. So that has been reduced. Let's go back to this tower that UOD has been trying to take for hours now. And Mr. Save Me is on this side now. So all the momentum that UOD had on this half, it seems like it is no longer there. Now the Garrison is Stella and Riven of Mr. Save Me. So this is insane. I believe the trade damage is quite on the side of defenders for now. UOD for sure are putting up a show. Like last night, it was the all DHX. Like they burned down a lot of players from UOD actually. Let me check where is Mr. Markstar. He was burned and he got burned real bad. So he's back to 536 million might, but I believe he lost over 3 to 5 million troops last night, including his resources, including his pride, and he has to do a lot to actually recover it now. A lot of effort has to be made. So yeah. So at this point, I think UOD they have finally connected with the village 7, not with the village 7, but they have been able to connect right about on the bottom half of the village 7, and I think after this they are going to connect with IC8, and both of these teams are going to go for the village 7 of DHX. So that does seem like two rallies will be launched onto DHX bases apparently. So now Mr. Save Me has ported forward to try and cause a dent into the defenses of IC8. Let's see what is the plan. So yeah, this fight is quite intense right now. Although MKRC have not lost a tower, but they actually made a tower as a backup. So now even if this tower falls, DHX have to build another tower to connect to this tower that has already been built by MKRC. So this tower has not actually fallen. It is close to falling, but who knows? So now Too Hot is coming over to their half of the map. Mr. Embrace Revo. So 1 to 5. So he's from region 1 to 5. Pretty strong whale it seems. Only 184 left, so this is about less than 2 minutes for this tower to burn down. So yeah, we go back to the half of IC8 DHX. What is ongoing? So it does seem like the fight has died down a bit right now, as both the teams are trying to build up towers. IC8 is building onto the level H7 of DHX right now, and same for the UOD team. So now they have a fight actually ongoing between this tower and UOD. Mr. Gumo is here. Gumo has launched a rally or not, we will see in a while. But for the moment, the battlefield is littered with a lot of squads. Most of UOD has actually ported forward, right? Even Venom is here. Most of their whales are ported forward. Santa is here. King Kong is not a whale, but he was actually burned yesterday, but he's back, it seems, into the fighting specs, and let's see how he's able to fare. Now IC8 is moving towards the half of UOD to try and help them complete this tower. So this is I think very difficult for DHX to hold on, especially if IC8 and UOD are able to launch multiple rallies onto the same tower. And right now at this half of the map, near UOD's village 6, it does seem like this fight is over for the moment. But the good thing that I have actually observed after Max Star was burned down, the flop star that he became. Now these guys have actually started using shields before they are going offline. So even a 1 billion might player is having shield on. This is good to see. You got to remain humble always. So yeah, this is pretty much over. It does not look like they are going for this tower again. Maybe they might actually go for it, but for the moment, this fight is over. So no more rallies on this side. My G is 27. Let me check. I do not want to go back to my region right now. So all the whales of IC8 have started assembling near this Vanguard tower being built by UOD to get closer to the village 7 of DHX. I believe that this village 7 is going to fall 100%. It is very difficult to stop two alliances. If you combine their might, it is about like 45 billion at least. And then you got MKRC and Too Hot on top of that. So Too Hot is super hot right now. And DHX seems like these guys are in a fix right now. All the paths leading to Village 8, they have been blocked. So one particular opening is there, but if you have to build from here, then you have to actually have that many people to be able to hold on to your tower, to be able to reinforce your towers, to be able to siege, join your siege rallies. So this is quite difficult. So IC8 is poising forward all their troops, all their players, while they're also maintaining some backup near their previous towers, which are leading to Village 8. But for the moment, since the threat is near more to their Village 7, so most of them have gone back. Too Hot, I believe these guys are waiting for the fight to start on the side of UOD and IC8, and then they are going to connect to this Outpost 7. So yeah, let's see what's the plan. And I believe region 226 is going to get invaded after after this particular island raid is over. This is just an assumption, or you can say a prediction that I am making. So yeah, let's just hop on and wait for the fights to resume, and then I will resume the commentary as well. So finally, we are back with some action that I was waiting for a little while, but a rally has been launched by Mr. Save Me using his Ethan and Julia, it seems, as the offensive rally, and the defender is Ethan and Lewis. So this is a strange choice, but obviously he knows better. Most likely he's trying to regenerate faster with the launch of Julia's skill. But ultimately, IC8 simply swarm down the rally. They are superior in numbers for the moment, considering that a lot of players from DHX, they are spread out. They are spread out over to a number of battlefields in this particular island raid right now. So yeah, overall I would have to appreciate both the teams that not only they were able to fight for such a long time and holding on multiple fronts. Like on the bottom half they have UOD, on the south side they have IC8 pushing on, then on the top side they have Too Hot and MKRC pushing on to their towers. So yeah, this is pretty difficult to not only hold on to, but fighting on multiple fronts at the same time. So yeah, let's see. UOD are waiting for their tower to finish up, and obviously they are going to start their offensive after that. And as for DHX on the south side, near the village 6 of UOD, this tower is finally going down, and most likely this will go down. Why it will go down is because it seems most of DHX have ported out, and they are focusing right now on the other things on the map that are happening. So yeah, let's see what is the plan. Gumo has already shifted himself near to the Vanguard Tower. So this only means that he is accepting the fact that UOD will eventually complete this tower, and then they will be going to launch a rally. But the thing that I want to see is that what is going to be the next tower build of IC8. Are they going to connect to the village 7, or are they going to connect to this tower only? So this is something that is quite intriguing, because if they connect to this tower, then UOD plus IC8, they can launch multiple rallies, and if they connect only to this, then both the teams can only launch a single rally. But my opinion on my understanding of the game is that both these teams are going to connect to both the towers. The next tower will probably be around this side, so that not only does it connect to the village 7, but it also connects to the tower, Vanguard Tower of DHX. This way, they will be posing multiple potential threats to DHX and their backline. So yeah, let's see what is the plan of DHX and how they are going to respond to this. So like I had said earlier, that I was waiting for them to build a tower, and it seems that my prediction was in fact quite correct. They built it here, so that not only they touched the level 7, but also the same tower that DHX had actually built. So this means that UOD are going to take over this tower, eventually build here, and connect to the level 7 of DHX, and then we are going to see multiple rallies from the teams that are IC8 and UOD. Both will launch probably a timed rally onto the level 7 village of DHX. So this is getting quite difficult for this team in fact. But on the forward side, they are still trying to create some kind of space. They are trying to take out the tower on the bottom side of IC8, but I believe that IC8 will be able to hold on to this tower. And yes, they have held out. Definitely they have held out. I do actually believe that this war is coming to an end. A lot of these whales have actually ported back. Then it is here. Then you got where is he? Lot of whales have actually ported back who were fighting right now. Alexandre is back, and it does seem like that the impetus, the momentum that DHX has, it has been overthrown. We need to understand that there is a limit to where all these whales can fight. Of course, you cannot fight 2 versus 1 when the opponents are actually as strong as you. Mr. Save Me has ported on the bottom half of the map. Number of whales have actually ported in here as well, but I do not believe that they will be able to hold on to their village 7. At least this is my prediction. So yeah, let's see how it is going to transpire, but I'm quite sure that this is over. Like, they have placed their squads already near the village 7. This means that a lot of DHX have also ported back, so it does not seem like they will be fighting. They have started porting back. This game is pretty much over. One more rally from Gumo. Let's see if something is going to come out of it, but it does not seem so. A lot of squads from IC8, they're here swarming it down. Cassandra is here. She's trying to swarm, and in doing that, she has lost all her troops, all her squads that were swarming. So this is it, I believe, for the fight, the 3 versus 1, rather 4 versus 1, that DHX were up against MKRC, IC8, UOD, and then of course the alliance that is too hot. but too hot are right now building on to the top half of DHX. But it is too late to build because it is already over. UOD and IC8 have successfully taken over this map. So thank you for watching this long ass video, and hopefully you all have a good day. Thank you for watching, guys.